Hi guys, here we are with a new video of mathematics. So in this video, I'll give you a visual proof of the equation that you can see on your screen. And the equation is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8 plus 1 by 16 plus 1 by 32 plus 1 by 64 and so on till infinite terms is equals to 1. Now that sounds quite weird, that how can be the sum of infinite terms be 1? Means there is a very common thought that pops up in our mind is that when we add several things, when we add many infinite things, then we will get something very large, something huge. And if we are adding infinite terms, then the result of summation of these terms must be somewhere close to infinity. But don't worry, I have a visual proof for this. But before we proceed with the visual proof, let's try to understand what kind of series is 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1 by 8, 1 by 16 and so on. Well, such series are known as geometric progression. Now, geometric progressions are basically the sequences or the series where each term after the first one is found by multiplying the previous term by a fixed non-zero number. For example, as you can see this sequence over here, the very first term is 2. The second term is found by multiplying 3 to the first term. The third term is found by multiplying 3 to the second term. The fourth term is found by multiplying 3 to the third term and so on. So say suppose if first term is represented by a, and when we divide any term by the previous one, we get a definite number which is known as common ratio. This common ratio is denoted by r, suppose. So the second term can be written as a into r, third can be written as a into r square, fourth can be written as a into r cube. Here a is 2 and r is 3 in this particular sequence. Such series which can be represented in this format, a, ar square, ar cube, are known as geometric progressions. Now geometric progressions are of two types. First one is converging GP and the second one is diverging GP. The diverging GP is the one in which magnitude of common ratio is greater than 1, and converging GP is the one in which magnitude of common ratio is less than 1. If the magnitude of common ratio is less than 1, then every successive term which we get will be smaller than the previous one. For example, say suppose if r is 1 by 3 and a is 1, then we get a sequence like 1, 1 by 3, 1 by 9, 1 by 27, 1 by 81 and so on. While if the magnitude of common ratio is greater than 1, say r is 2 and a is 3, then we get a series like 3, 3 into 2, that's 6, 6 into 2, 12, then 24, then 48 and so on. So the very first term we have over here is 1 by 2, and we get every term by multiplying 1 by 2 to the previous term. So the common ratio over here is 1 by 2 again. Now sum of n terms of a GP is given as a into 1 minus r raised to the power n divided by 1 minus r. And since in the equation there are infinite terms, that's why n will tend to infinity. Now if magnitude of r over here, as you can see, is less than 1, and if we increase the power of such number, then this number will tend to 0, and therefore Sn will be equals to a upon 1 minus r. Now if we substitute the value of a and r as 1 by 2, then we get Sn equals to 1 by 2 upon 1 minus 1 by 2, which is 1 by 2 upon 1 by 2, and hence the sum of infinite terms of the series will be equals to 1. But this result doesn't seem to be very much satisfying. That's why let's begin with our visual proof for this equation. Now, in order to prove it, I want you to consider a situation where you go to a pizza shop. I know now your mouth must be watering, but please do not let the pizza distract you. So stay focused and listen carefully. So basically you go to a pizza shop, and unlike other pizza shops, this pizza shop has a very weird set of rules. The very first rule is no customer will get one complete pizza. The second rule is that the first slice that any customer gets will be half of a pizza. Means the first slice that any customer will be getting is half of one complete pizza. The third rule is that every slice a customer gets after the first will be half of the previous one. Means if you take the second slice, then the second slice will be half of the previous one. Means the second slice will be half of half. That's 1/4. The third slice, if you take, it will be 1/8, 1/8 of one complete pizza. The fourth slice will be similarly 1/16. Fifth slice will be 1/32. Okay. Sixth slice will be 1/64. Seventh will be 1/128. Eighth slice will be 1/256, and so on. Now, what do you think? How many pizzas did you eat after, say, taking 30 to 40 slices in the same pattern? Say after 100 slices in the same pattern. Trust me, you didn't even eat one complete pizza. And I can prove that. So now to prove the above equation, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna combine all these slices of pizza. Okay, so let's begin with the very first slice. So here we have our first slice. Now the second slice is 1/4 of the total pizza. I'm gonna club this 1/4 piece with the half. Now the next slice is 1/8 of the complete pizza. Now the next slice is 1/16. The next slice is 1/32. The next slice is 1/64. Now every successive slice that you take is half of the previous one. So this remaining part of the circle that you can see, okay, it's gonna take infinite slices to fill up this gap. To prove this, let's consider a vacant circle. And as you saw, every slice that comes in tends to take the shape towards a complete circle. So if we place these slices one by one in this vacant circle, you'll see that any slice that comes in fills up only half of the gap which is left. For example, say if we take this first slice and place it here in the circle. So right now this whole complete circle is vacant. After placing this slice, only half of the circle will be vacant. So now once we placed this first slice, half circle is filled while the half is still vacant. Now when the second slice comes in, again half of the remaining portion will be filled and half will still be vacant. So 1/4 will get filled up and remaining 1/4 is still vacant. Now when the third slice comes in, again half of the remaining portion is filled and half is vacant. Similarly, when the fourth slice comes in, half of the gap will be filled while half will still be vacant. No slice is able to completely fill the gap. That's why it's gonna take infinite slices to fill up any gap, because every slice that comes in only fills up half the gap while still half of the gap is left out to fill up by the remaining slices. So now when you add up all these slices, you get to know that you ate just one pizza. Okay, so this is how sum of all these terms, 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8 and so on till infinite terms, is 1. Mathematics, stay tuned with us. Till then, bye bye and thank you.